Welcome back, dear students. Now continue to this chapter 16, DNA replication. In this lecture, we are going to study bacterial DNA replication. So the process of DNA replication that takes place in the prokaryotes, for example, bacteria. Here we are going to discuss in great details. So here we are starts with bacterial DNA replication. DNA replication involves the copying of its nucleotide sequences into complementary nucleotide sequence. This needs the separation of the two strands of the DNA by breaking of hydrogen bonds. So as you know that the DNA is a double helical structure, it possesses two strands and the base sequence present on the strand are complementary to each other. Suppose one strand possesses adenine, on its opposite strand there is thymine. If there is guanine, on its opposite strand there is cytosine and vice versa. So this is the complementary base pairing. The two strands are held together by means of hydrogen bonds between the complementary nucleotide sequences. For example, adenine binds with thymine by means of two hydrogen bonds. Guanine binds with cytosine by means of 3 hydrogen bond. So these are the hydrogen bonds which held together the two strands of the DNA. During the DNA replication, the two strands of the DNA are needs to separate by breaking of hydrogen bonds. The rate of DNA replication is about 500 nucleotides per second in bacterial DNA replication. There are three main steps in the molecular mechanism of DNA replication. These are initiation, elongation and termination. The mechanism of DNA replication is same in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So here with great detail we are going to study the molecular mechanism of DNA replication which takes place in three main steps: initiation, elongation and termination. So one by one we are going to discuss the three main steps involved in the molecular mechanism of DNA replication. The first one is the initiation of chain. Replication of DNA begins at a specific point or site called origin or initiation point of replication. So origin of replication or the initiation point of replication is a specific point on the DNA molecule where the replication has been started or begins. In bacteria, there is a single origin point. As you know that the bacterial DNA is a double-stranded circular DNA molecule. There is a single origin of replication in bacteria. So origin of DNA replication is accomplished by an enzyme called endonuclease that cuts sugar phosphate backbone at a specific point. So restriction endonucleases are one of the enzymes that cut the bacterial DNA at a specific point by breaking down the sugar phosphate backbone. Later on, weak hydrogen bonds between the bases are broken, resulting in the formation of Y-shaped replication fork or replication bubble. So replication fork or replication bubble has been accomplished with the breaking of weak hydrogen bonds between the complementary bases. So the initiation of the replication starts with the unwinding of the DNA strand. Unwinding of DNA strand proceeds to a greater length of a single strand, which is achieved by DNA unwinding protein called as helicase. So helicase is one of the enzyme which is responsible for unwinding of the DNA strand. So unwinding of the DNA strand has been takes place by breaking the hydrogen bond between the complementary nucleotides. So here this is a double-stranded DNA molecule. The direction of unwinding is on your right hand side. So the enzyme helicase breaks the hydrogen bond between the two complementary strands, as a result of which it forms a Y-shaped configuration called as replication fork. So this is the replication fork where the DNA replication has been takes place. So unwinding of the DNA double strand has been takes place by the enzyme helicase. It binds to a single strand and about 200 molecules of unwinding proteins are present in the vicinity of the fork. So unwinding, it is followed by the binding of single stranded binding protein SSBP. So this single stranded binding proteins has been join or binds to the separated strands of the DNA that prevent rewinding or annealing of the two strand. So these two strand remain separated by the binding of single stranded binding proteins. The unwinding of the strand imposes supercoiling of the strand. Suppose if we see here the DNA don't have the free end, so unwinding in one region causes overwinding in the other region. So this unwinding of the strand imposes supercoiling of the strand. It is possible by the action of enzyme gyrase, thus single strand has been formed or single strand resulted. Each single strand serve as a template for complementary DNA synthesis. So here these two separated strands act as a template for the process of DNA synthesis. It is then prevented from the degraded from the hydrogen bonding with each other. It is done by helix destabilizing proteins. So these helix destabilizing proteins prevent the degradation of the hydrogen bonds. So this is the replication fork where the enzyme helicase cause the unwinding of the DNA. It is followed by the binding of single stranded binding proteins to prevent a re-annealing or rewinding of the two separated strands of the DNA. To impose the unwinding of the DNA strand imposes supercoiling of the strand, so that has been prevented by the enzyme gyrase. Furthermore, the next step occur is the elongation of the chain. The separated polynucleotide chains acting as a template are for synthesis of new DNA strand. So here, as a result of separation of the two strand by the breaking of hydrogen bond, each strand of the DNA act as a template for the synthesis of new DNA strand. The fork is asymmetrical. One strand is oriented in 5:3 direction and other in 3:5 direction. So if we remember that there are 6 basic rules for DNA replication. DNA replication always takes place in 5:3 direction. The fork is asymmetrical, means one strand synthesis takes place to the opposite of the other strand. Okay, so how I will explain this? So the fork is asymmetrical. One strand is oriented in 5:3 direction. So here we can see this strand which is oriented in 5:3 direction, while its complementary strand runs in, other strand runs in 3:5 direction. Here is the starting point of this strand. Here the end is the third primate and the other end is the fifth primate. Okay, here is the fifth primate of this strand, template strand. So this is the template strand. This one is also the template strand. So the enzyme helicase breaks the hydrogen bond between the nucleotide bases. It is followed by the binding of single stranded binding proteins. So it prevents the re-annealing or rewinding of the two strands of the DNA. Now we are studying the elongation of the chain, means here the synthesis of the DNA has been takes place by the activity of enzyme DNA polymerase. There is one basic rule is that the DNA replication always takes place in 5:3 direction. Here is the direction of unwinding on your right hand side. Here helicase enzyme has been proceed. So the synthesis of the two strands cannot take place in the same direction. This is due to only one enzyme called DNA polymerase III. It moves in 3:5 direction of the old strand. It catalyzes the synthesis of new strand. Thus the new strand is formed in 5:3 direction. Okay. So the DNA synthesis during the elongation of the chain has been takes place in 5:3 direction. The enzyme DNA polymerase III is required for DNA synthesis. It adds the nucleotide according to the sequence present on the template strand. So this is the template strand. So by using the sequence present on the template strand, the DNA polymerase enzyme adds nucleotide. Suppose the template strand possesses adenine, then DNA polymerase adds thymine on newly synthesized strand. Similar is the case on the other strand also. Okay. Now, to start to prime DNA synthesis, it requires a short double-stranded region. So that short double-stranded region has been provided by RNA primer. DNA synthesis takes place only in small pieces on the strand which runs in bias to 3 direction. So DNA synthesis in fragments in pieces on 5 to 3 strands. In bacteria, there may be 1000 to 2000 nucleotides in a single piece. These short pieces are known as Okazaki fragments. So here we can see these are the Okazaki fragments. Short fragments has been formed on one strand which runs in 3 to 5 direction. Okay. So the strand which runs in the strand which runs in 5 to 3 direction, where the DNA synthesis has been takes place discontinuously to form the small pieces. These short pieces or small pieces are known as Okazaki fragments. So these are the Okazaki fragments. They are produced on the lagging strand. So this strand is called as the lagging strand, where the DNA synthesis is discontinuous. These are produced on the lagging strand of the parent DNA. Okazaki pieces are later joined to form continuous strand of the DNA. DNA polymerase first and DNA ligase are responsible for this process. So DNA polymerase third enzyme copies the sequence present on the template strand and synthesize the new strand, but in fragments, in short pieces. So these short pieces becomes continuous to form a continuous strand by the activity of enzyme DNA ligase. So this DNA ligase seals the gap between the two fragments of the DNA, so that the DNA strand will be continuous. Okay. So on the one of the strand, the DNA replication is discontinuous. It is called as the lagging strand, because this DNA replication takes place in opposite direction of the unwinding. So here is the direction of unwinding on your right hand side. Okay. And the DNA replication takes place in this direction. It is always takes place in pi 3 direction. So here is the 5th prime end. Okay. So the DNA replication starts here and it takes place in opposite direction of the unwinding. So the DNA replication is discontinuous, means it forms the short pieces of the DNA fragments. It is called as Okazaki fragments. Replication on its opposite strand, it is faster, that is on the strand runs in 3 to 5 direction. So this is the template strand which runs in 3 to 5 direction, where the DNA replication is faster than the strand runs in 5 to 3 direction. So this is the strand which runs in 5 to 3 direction. So if you compare the rate of DNA replication, the DNA replication is faster on 3 to 5 strand than 5 to 3 strand. The former, that is the strand run in 3 to 5 direction, it is called as leading strand. So this strand is the leading strand, while the latter it is called as lagging strand. So on the leading strand, the DNA replication is continuous. Okay. While on the lagging strand, it is discontinuous. Discontinuous means it forms the short fragments of the DNA, while on leading strand it forms a continuous DNA strand by the activity of same enzyme DNA polymerase. Okay. Now the initiation of DNA synthesis require RNA primer, because DNA polymerase enzyme requires a short double stranded region. And if you see the replication fork, here these two strands has been get separated. So to start, to initiate, to prime DNA replication, the DNA polymerase enzyme require short double stranded region. So that short double stranded region has been provided by RNA primer. This is because that deoxyribonucleotides cannot be attached each other even if the template is present. it is the RNA primer that is formed in the presence of RNA polymerase enzyme. So here the RNA primase enzyme is required to form a short double-stranded region. Okay, it synthesized a copy of short segment of one strand of DNA by using the template DNA near the origin of replication. So short segment of the RNA has been formed near the origin of replication by the enzyme RNA primase. Now DNA polymerase third adds the DNA monomers, that is the nucleotides, to the third prime end of the RNA primer, and this newly synthesized strand is complementary to the parental strand. So the first RNA primase enzyme add a short segment of the RNA near the origin of replication. Now then DNA polymerase third adds the DNA nucleotides or DNA monomers to the third prime end of the RNA primer. So this addition of the DNA nucleotides takes place according to the sequence present on the template strand or the parent strand. If the template strand possesses adenine, then DNA polymerase third add thymine on newly synthesized strand at the third prime end. Why at the third prime end? Because DNA replication always takes place in 5s2 3 direction. Okay. So due to which the DNA polymerase third add the DNA monomers to the third prime end of the RNA primer, and this newly synthesized strand is complementary to the DNA strand. The enzyme DNA polymerase first now degrades RNA primer and simultaneously catalyzes the synthesis of short segment to replace the RNA primer. So here in the previous slide we seen that the short segment of the RNA is required for DNA replication to start, but that DNA, the newly formed DNA, possesses the RNA primer or segment of the RNA. To replace this RNA primer with the DNA, the enzyme DNA polymerase first degrades RNA primer and simultaneously catalyzes the synthesis of short segment to replace the RNA primer with the DNA. Since none of the polymerase can join the third prime OH group of sugar to a 5' prime phosphate group, so the enzyme DNA ligase is used here to join these groups of adjacent base pairs so that the daughter strand becomes continuous. So same function that has been carried on the lagging strand by DNA ligase to seal the gaps to join the third prime OH group of sugar to a 5' prime phosphate group of adjacent nucleotides. Same activity is performed by the enzyme DNA ligase here. To first, the DNA polymerase first replace the RNA primer with the DNA, and the final phosphodiester bond formation takes place by the activity of enzyme DNA ligase. Similarly, on the lagging strand also, the lagging strand, the DNA synthesis is discontinuous in the form of short segments or the fragments called as Okazaki fragments. So the fragments become continuous because of the activity of DNA ligase enzyme. It seals the gap between the nucleotides by the formation of phosphodiester bond between third prime OH group of one nucleotide and 5' prime phosphate group of adjacent nucleotide. So in this way the DNA strand becomes continuous. Here the termination takes place after completion of replication in the fork. More single strands must become available for further replication. This will put a strain on the double helix. This strain is relieved by the enzyme helicase. It unwinds the double helix to open the fork further. Helix stabilizing protein serves to stabilize the separating single strand and prevent re-annealing so that replication can further proceed. So the process of replication has to be continuous as a short double-stranded region has been opened by the activity of enzyme helicase. As the DNA synthesis proceeds, further unwinding of the double helix has been carried out by the enzyme helicase. So it unwinds the double helix to open the fork further. Helix stabilizing proteins, these are the single stranded binding proteins, are binds to the separated strands of the DNA to stabilize the separating single strand and prevent re-annealing or rewinding. So so that replication can further proceed. So this is all about the bacterial DNA replication, which takes place in the three main steps: initiation, elongation and termination. Okay, so this is all for today. Thank you. Stay home, be safe.